study of human behavior is today's featured career, the psychologist. Hi.
Hello.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dr. Peel. Come on in, I'll show you around.
Please.
Clinical psychologist is somebody who works with people who are having some sort of problem, something's gone wrong in their life or something horrible's happened, and we do assessment where we figure out what the issue is, and then we do treatment, which is therapy for trying to sort out the problem. You might have clinical psychologists who only work with post-traumatic stress disorder, or who only work with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or who only works with children. But because I'm in private practice, it's a small town and there's not many psychologists here to be able to do lots of different things.
So this would be a typical office space for a psychologist?
Yeah, we've got the therapy space here, and then this is more for admin and report writing, and this would be where we were doing the actual therapy, sitting more comfortably, and we'd see clients in this part of the room. When I meet people for the first time, I explain to them what we're going to do, and I ask questions, just get the background of their life, and then I ask them about what's brought them. They tell me about whatever the issue is, and I'm explaining to them very carefully, the situations in which I can keep total confidentiality, which is almost always, and then the small occasions when, if I felt like that person was in danger, for example, if they were suicidal or if a child was in danger, I'm explaining to them what would happen. I'm making suggestions about what I think is going to be helpful. And I have a whole range of different treatments and therapies that I can use. And I tailor it for each person. They might have some anxiety, and then I'm going to teach them some things to help calm their body down, and behavioural things to help them to feel better. When you're assessing children, children don't sit and talk like we're talking. Children show their feelings and their story and their life through their play. So whatever you give them to play with, they'll show what's happening in their minds through what they choose to do with it. At the moment, I work 3 days a week because I have young children, and I work one evening because I find that people need after school hours or after work hours. So in private practice, you can have completely flexible hours. But if you're in a government job, in a hospital job, then it's usually 9 to 5. I've worked in jobs before where you have to work at the weekends. It really depends on the setting. So what I want you to do is go through these cards. They're all different faces of all different feelings, and pick out the ones that fit for you today. I knew I wanted to go and do an undergrad degree, and I chose psychology because I just thought it would be really interesting, and I also thought that I would meet really interesting people. And part of my degree was that you got to do a year working in a psychology setting. I chose to work at a children's hospital, and that's where I discovered that I really wanted to be a psychologist, because I worked with a psychologist and she really inspired me. In high school, if there are courses in psychology, it's good to take them. And then you do a bachelor's degree relevant to psychology or human behaviour, and then you do a master's, and then you do a PhD. Psychologists are proud of being evidence-based practitioners. So we're innovative in that we're researching things on an ongoing basis and helping to find the best and latest treatments for people.
What really makes a great psychologist?
I think it's really just being able to connect with people and make people feel comfortable. You have to have the relationship before you can put any of your education into practice. Being really interested in people is something that you can't learn to do, and you need that. And you need to be an empathic person as well, having sympathy for another person and trying to understand what their perspective is and what's going on for them. Some people are really concrete and they just want to sit and talk, and some people find sitting and talking really difficult, so I'll do drawings with adults, I'll get adults playing with the cards and feelings faces. Being detail-oriented is really important for doing assessments. So when we're doing assessments, we're sitting with testing materials, asking questions, getting people to do hands-on tasks, and we're observing them really closely. There's quite a strict code of ethics, and the law binds me to this code of ethics, and part of it is keeping good notes. So I have to have notes that have particular things in them. I have to be very careful about confidentiality in that area. I'm happy to see the miserable ones are going over there and the happy ones are over here. One of the things that I love about being a psychologist is there's so many opportunities. So I could become a professor at university or be conducting research. A lot of people go from a healthcare type job into private practice because then you get more flexibility and more freedom to do what you want. And also, if I decided I didn't want to be a psychologist anymore, the skills that you learn when you train to be a psychologist can be applied in every area of life. One thing that really helped me was working with a psychologist. So if you can get a job, even if it's volunteering, so that you can see what they do and help to figure out whether that's what you want to do. It is a very rewarding job. I love my job, actually. I really enjoy interaction with people, and I get to hear what's really going on for people, be able to help people to understand how their brain works so they can function better in school or at work. I feel really honoured to be able to do that.
Well, Dr. Peel, thank you very much for having me. I had a really great day.
My pleasure.
Take care. Once again, I'm Brian for Career Track, reminding you that this career could be yours. See you next time.